All right, YouTube family, Uncle Ace is back in the house. It's Saturday night, the kind of night where you pour something nice, kick your feet up, and talk about the sweet science. It's been a couple of weeks since the night the boxing world got a complete software update, and I think we've all had time to reboot our systems. Welcome back to Tales from the Squared Circle. And tonight we are not just having a discussion, we're opening up the case file on what might be the slickest heist in modern boxing history. We are going to break down piece by piece how Terence Bud Crawford didn't just beat Canelo Alvarez. He downloaded his playbook, changed all the passwords, and walked out with the keys to the entire kingdom. Now, this is a round table, not a sermon. I need your brilliant boxing minds in the comments because a performance this slick deserves a deep dive analysis. So if you're ready to get witty and break down this masterpiece with me, then you must hit that subscribe button. And if you appreciate a beautiful, brutal boxing lesson, press that like button. Let's get into it. First, let's pour one out for the man on the wrong side of history that night, the king himself, Canelo Alvarez. Make no mistake, Canelo is an all-time great. He came in there, as expected, looking like a brick fortress, planning to do what he does best. Apply that suffocating pressure and land a punch that could knock a wall down. He was trying to solve a Rubik's Cube by hitting it with a sledgehammer. The problem, the Rubik's Cube kept changing colors and then hit him back. So here's my first question for you, the YouTube family, and I want to see a real debate in the comments. Did we see a diminished Canelo, or was he simply facing a puzzle so complex that it made him look ordinary? Was it a case of the king slowing down, or was he just fighting a ghost who was operating on a completely different level of reality? Now, let's talk about the man of the hour, the architect of this beautiful crime, Terence Bud Crawford. My goodness, the man is not just a fighter, he's a chess grandmaster playing in a world of checkers champions. He walked into a super fight, giving up a significant amount of size and power, and he looked like he had already seen the fight a dozen times in his dreams. He was so calm, so confident, it was like he knew the combination to the safe before he even touched the dial. His game plan was nothing short of a work of art. He knew he couldn't stand in front of a train, so he didn't. He became the guy switching the tracks, sending the train down the wrong line, making it punch holes in the air. It was a 12-round masterclass in frustration, and Canelo was his star pupil. So let's get down to the brass tacks, the technical genius of how he pulled this off. Crawford's footwork was the foundation of the whole operation. He turned that 20 by 20 ring into his own personal chessboard, and Canelo was just one of the pieces. The angles he created were sublime. He was never there to be hit. It was like he had Canelo throwing punches into a different zip code all night, and the stance switching. Here's my next question for you, fight fanatics. Let's get technical. How big of a factor was the constant shifting from orthodox to southpaw? To me, it looked like he was changing the password on Canelo's offense every 30 seconds. Just when Canelo thought he had a read on the jab, bam, Crawford would give him a completely different look, a new set of problems, a different angle of attack. It was brilliant, it was frustrating, and it was absolutely effective. The big question we all had before the fight was the age-old one. Can a good little man beat a good big man? Well, Crawford didn't just prove that a good little man can beat a good big man. He proved that a brilliant artist can paint a masterpiece on a very large, very angry canvas. He took Canelo's size and turned it into a clumsy liability. Every time Canelo loaded up for a home run, Crawford was already on first base, tipping his cap. So what's the big takeaway from all this, my YouTube gladiators? The takeaway is that the most powerful muscle in boxing is and always will be the brain. Terence Crawford didn't just win a fight. He proved that a high-level processor will beat a heavy-duty engine every single time. It was a victory for the sweet science in its purest form. All right, that's it from your Uncle Ace, a truly legendary performance that we'll be talking about for decades. What do you think? Was this the greatest strategic performance you have ever seen in a boxing ring? Drop a comment below and let's get this debate started. And for crying out loud, if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next time Uncle Ace drops some boxing wisdom on your heads. Until next time, keep your guard up and stay classy, fight fans.